Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you all the members, all the patrons. Make sure to subscribe. We're trying to hit 50,000 subscribers until the end of the year, so help me out there. Subscribe and let's get going, guys. So today we have some kinda normal gameplay, but doing this. So yes, we are trying to do the same challenge that I actually did. I think it was even before that I had 1,000 subscribers. It's been a while, at least a year or something like that. Or basically the no cannon, no problem kind of challenge, right? Basically flying aircraft that don't have a cannon and trying to be, effective with them. So as you see over here, we are first flying the SPS with one of my favorite aircraft of the game, one of my favorite MiG-21s. And as you see with the two R3Rs, you can do some damage. It's funny that I actually hit the F-104 there, and it basically, it did damage it, but the guy was still flying and chasing me. I think he lost the engine, but still. And we are using the flares and chaff pod there, together with two R3Rs and one R60. And the idea of this video is that, is to branch out a little bit. For those who know me for a while, will probably know the honest idea behind this video, but the general idea is that you can play in other ways other than just dogfights and, furballs and cannons. The idea is that there are ways of playing the game that are even more fun than the normal dogfights and clusters of furballs and stuff that happens in the middle of the map, right? And yeah, it's something that it is quite, it's even funny to actually play with this aircraft and with these different loadouts. It's not that they don't have a cannon. Obviously the SPS can take the cannon, but it is a pod, right? So I'm just choosing not to use it. And there it was the F-04 that I actually shot with the R3R at the start of the match right there. So yeah, and then we rearmed and got back up again. Fired at this Vulture. There's nothing that he can do. Yeah, poor guy. And I had them 10G limit. It's quite enough to get a target like that. So it's pretty good. And of course, you stay with some limited options. To be honest, you are a little bit limited. And if you were going to use just an R3S or something like that, it would be very, very problematic. I think the major thing is that you can actually use some pretty good missiles over here. And then with these missiles, you can actually just not use the cannon if you don't want to. So yeah, there was a KS there still. But you know what I mean? Like, any aircraft can do well without a cannon if it has properly good ammunition. Here, I fired the R3R. But then, as you know, these older missiles, they are pretty bad against chaff. He fired one chaff and I was done. No more ammo, and basically this is it. And this is the thing, man. I only had 3 missiles in this loadout. If you use 2 R60s, you only have 2. And then you have 2 RTB. So it is not the normal way that the majority of the players would play, right? It is different. But that's the fun part about it. It is that it's not something usual that you will see a lot of the times, and it becomes different. And then I got shot down by a Gepard in the first shot, which was quite amusing to say the least. And then we got a higher BR aircraft here, F-104S ASA, which is one of the higher, it's the second, to the last, top tier aircraft for the Italian Tech Tree. I'm trying to use the Aspide missile. It is quite complicated to use this missile because it is a quite good missile actually, but the radar is very, very limited in the sense of gimbal limits, in the sense of, just overall range. So it is quite weird. But if you get people by surprise, you can get a lot of kills with it. I used to fly with just these 4 missiles, 2 AIM-9Ls and just 2 Aspides. I eventually got killed here because I didn't know a guy was behind me, but I have basically researched the entire ASA just flying like that with no cannon, which is pretty, it's pretty fun to actually do this. And here we have the F4S, right? The Phantom, the Premium Phantom. Obviously, you can do this with the F4C. I love to do it with the FRC because a lot of people don't have a chef or anything like that. You can do it with the J as well. I just don't use the gun pod to have a little bit more performance, to climb more, and just get people with the BVR. But, of course, being an F4S or just an overall higher tier aircraft like the F104 there, and having some bugs sometimes, like I had with the Raider there a little bit, sometimes you just have to deal with more advanced aircraft, and you just have to be careful with that. So yeah, in this case, for example, the F-14, he had the advantage on me. I had another F-4 to help me out, but still. So I lost 2 of my missiles, but I still have 6 of them. And you will see that the AIM-9H is pretty alright. A lot of people like this missile, and like there was a guy that it really bothered me. There was a guy in Discord, I think, or something like that was saying that he preferred the AIM-9H than the AIM-9L, which I think is just nonsense in my opinion, but still, you will see that you can do some crazy stuff. And you will see there, I got a kill with the AIM-7F, and then I lost the lock there, tried to get a lock again, but then the AIM-7 was just completely, you know, bonkers. I fired an AIM-9H and lost the lock there just to make sure he doesn't know that I shot at him, got the kill. And then here is an example of how to actually, you know, be in a kind of a furball in a dogfight, but without a cannon. And without a proper dogfighting missile as well. I mean, if you have an R60 or even an AIM-9L or Magic 2, you can do some pretty good stuff on it. But with an AIM-9H like this, it can be kind of quite problematic. I mean, I could have killed this guy if I had the cannon, right? So you will lose kills. It's not that you will not lose kills, but it is quite, you know, as I said, amusing to actually do this just for the sake of it. And as I said, F4E right there, I would have just killed the guy as well. I mean, if it was an R60 or an AIM-9L, we probably would have just killed the guy, but the AIM-9H takes a while to turn. And then this happens. F-14 there, coming on a head-on. And the F-14 is so hot that I actually got an all-aspect shot with the AIM-9H. So, that never happened to me. I mean, think about how much heat the F-14 produces to do that. It's crazy. But this is the thing that you have to learn about. You have to have, and that's the main thing about this, is that for not using the cannon, you need to be kind of a support aircraft. You are not going to be the main fighter doing the maneuvers, right? You have to run away, go back when there is another target attacking him, you know, and if there is none helping you, you are pretty much, you know, you cannot do anything, because missiles are fairly easy to avoid if you know what you're doing. I mean, apart from some situations, it is pretty avoidable. It's pretty easy to avoid. But it's something, you know, that you have to worry about. So yeah, I fired the last missile there. It was going to get him, but the F-14 got him first. So yeah, but as I was saying, I mean, you need to have a support role, kind of using these aircraft without a cannon, because if not, you will end up just having your hands tied and you cannot do anything. So it's pretty fun, but it has its caveats, and it's not very meta right now. But still, it is pretty fun. So if you haven't tried this, try this out. It is pretty cool. Many aircraft have this option, even some aircraft like the Sea Vixen being only missiles. So yeah. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, and bye.